Today's Tales is playing BattleTech once again, and today we're up against Calico, and this is my losers bracket game. So I need to win this, otherwise I'm about to get knocked out of the Valhalla tournament. I've still got a long way to go if I want to win all my games, but we'll see how we go. So I'm running the two Thunderbolts, the Urban Mech, my jumping trash can with Mockingbird, and we've got ourselves a Locust with Sumo, and we are going to sprint on up. Actually, change of plans. We're not going up that side. We're actually going this way from memory. Because... Where are you, Ozone? I would like to fire from over on this hill. If I can. But the trash can will go straight up here, because we want to kind of ease the trash can into over here somewhere. And then Sumo, you can come on up. Good luck, have fun. Alrighty. So Calico, he's just woken up. He was supposed to have played me about 3.5 hours ago, but you know what? That's fine, that's fine. I kind of want to sit around these trees in case he's got some sort of fast-moving lance. I want to sit up on this hill because you can fire across this valley if you can spot things, so you can get some direct line of sight. It's slightly better than pushing over this way, especially with the two Thunderbolts, because they have LRM-15s. So we're going to kind of want to spam the LRM-15s out, maybe soften them up. Depends what he's got. I haven't seen... I'm sure I've played Calico, but I can't remember. And I have no idea what he's going to be running, so... see how we do. Hopefully my practice against William has maybe paid off. We'll see in a sec. And we'll see. I know it's one of these spots. Do I risk here? Second round, I think. As long as he isn't jumping, we should be okay to claim maybe over here somewhere. It's a little risky, because if he's moving up as fast as he can, and he spots us in the open, obviously there's going to be hell to pay. But I think this is risk it time. Risk it for the biscuit. We definitely want to move you as far as we can as well. I think... I kind of want the trees, and then we can jump and brace from there. Let's have a look. Yeah, it kind of gets you a little bit further forward than what we had before. And you, son, can just sit towards the back. In fact, go for a bit of a move with you. In fact, what we'll do is we'll bait with this a little. In the hopes that if he does come too far forward, he kind of thinks that the light is maybe the heavy. Depends on what he's got for sensor locking. If he's got anything with decent tactics, he'll know this is the light. If he doesn't have anything with decent tactics like Mockingbird, then he won't know what to lock here. So we're probably going to just walk and brace to here. I have a feeling poor old Wildfire's not going to make it, but that's fine. She can maybe hop into over here somewhere. We'll just bunker down here for a bit, work out what he's got. We're going to put the trash can maybe over here somewhere, maybe out of direct line of sight. And then of course Sumo just goes back and forth, just eating turns in case he needs to beat on something. If anything comes over this hill, if it's a jumping lance, we're going to move back. If it's an LRM lance, we could probably just push through. Gets a little scary because this is my only sensor locker, but it all depends on what he's got, right? If it is an LRM lance, this side's not the best because you can't, you know, you gotta go this way to push over this hill towards him. But we've got two LRM-15s, kind of works out. So we'll take a move. I think it's to about here. See how far Mockingbird can get first. I'll take you to here. I'll rotate you, just in case. And you go. So this would be the turn where he either gets us or we get him, right? I think what we want to do definitely think it's here. That's the spot. I really should learn this. So you move up, and kind of want to take to there, but what we'll do is we'll probably put you just here, just in case. Move you up, brace you in, and you kind of just want to sit here, Sumo, even if you can't do anything. And then what we'll do is we'll probably take Sumo for a run up to over here to see if we can ping something this turn. If we're both camping, then it's going to get a little awkward. If we're both camping, I have to push this corner. If he's going to camp, he's probably going to sit on this. If he's got LRMs, he could sit back here, but it's not great to spam LRMs from way back here. Indirect, long range. I mean, take me like a billion turns to get you to you, so I mean, I might be worn down and it might explode. Now, I should talk about Thunderbolts. If you've seen my previous game, you'll know that CT ammo is a major risk, so I'm banking a little on these to survive, because they can, I mean, 105 doesn't mean a lot when you can just spontaneously combust, especially with 2 sets of ammo in there. I don't know the stats on how that works, but you can't just blow up, right? I don't really want to push off this. I kind of want to use that as best I can. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for a sprint this way and see if we can pick up something that's maybe over here. Is there a move that kind of gets us over there as well? There is, to these trees. We'll probably take something like this. Maybe if he's pushed up here, then we'll ping him. It's kind of a little risky because if we don't ping him, then he's definitely going to get us next turn. Please ping. There we go. Okay, so we got a target moving that way. So Mockingbird, you're probably going to need to push up here. Just a tad if he's gone this side. I put you here now. Direct line of sight is not great for you. I think we'll risk that though. We have to kind of hope that he doesn't have an arc light here. So he's got an arc light. Fair enough. And that's actually his arc light right there. So we'll see what he wants to do. We're probably just going to reserve down here. We're braced up here, so it's no real risk for us. We might just move Sumo, I think. We'll see if he wants to do anything. Probably not. And one more reserve. We're just going to reserve down to the end, just in case he's got an assault. I don't really want to risk that. I could actually move Mockingbird. No. What we'll do is we'll move you first, buddy. Come for a bit of a move this way. Is there any decent moves that doesn't get us side shots? None of these are great, are they? What is wrong with you, buddy? I think that might be the best option we've got. Unless there's something weird we can get over here. Nope. Is there one to here, possibly? Nope. Okay. Here? There we go. That's alright. Although, yeah, that's fine. With Arclight, it doesn't matter if we drop Sensor Lock here. He can move if he wants. That's fine. And we'll brace up. It's interesting how it does this. How it no longer drops. I find it weird. We're just going to tank a bit with Sumo. Got to keep Mockingbird here to see if he wants to push anything into us. Doesn't look hopeful, does it? I'm assuming he's a pretty good player. He's passed most of the lower bracket. He lost to William, who I just played before, so losing to William is not exactly bad, right? Well, considering he's winning the damn tournament at the moment. It's not bad to lose to one of the winners. Well, one of the current winners. Doesn't mean he'll stay a winner, but he could. He's having a think here. Would love it if he pushed something into us. It doesn't look like it. We'll probably move ozone here. Actually, we're just going to brace with ozone. Who's... Okay, so you're not. Okay, so we'll brace with ozone. The reason being, I just want maybe something to move into us. For Mockingbird to maybe fire once. And the reason I did ozone is we've got slightly higher gunnery. Not that it's going to matter, because it's probably going to come down to tactics here with the indirect fire. We'll see how we do. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, so he's going to have 2 mechs, so if he wants to sensor lock us here, he can. What we might do is we might take a jump to over here, and we'll twist a little here. And we'll brace. And it might kick us out of... Yeah, there we go. I actually thought... I didn't realize the trash can... It's weird that the trash can was holding that. It is a bit strange. I could have maybe have sensor locked from the trash can and forced that to move. We'll see how we're going. Just sitting on top of my heater. It's a little cold here. Not that cold is any stretch of the imagination actually cold. Australia, right? 10 degrees is cold. 14. Alright, Calico. What's you up to? So he gets to move his entire lance now. I think he's hoping we'll push into him. Probably not. We'll probably swing Sumo over this way again. Just to touch base and see if he's moved anything up. If I was him, I would maybe move something and grab a hold of this stuff. Since you've got arc light, you can move first. I would move all my heavies or whatever you've got back here forward. And then I would swing... my arc light over here. I would maybe even consider moving and locking. Just so you can get an idea of what I've got. Which looks like what he's actually done here. Now, who's he going to pick? Hopefully he picks Sumo so he doesn't see the 2 Thunderbolts. Maybe I should have swung the trash can more to the front. Man, round 6 already. Is the game broken here? No, here we go, cool. Alright, he's going to reserve into us again. I could think about locking this, if I've got it. Do I have it? Let's have a look. Not quite right. No, nothing weird going on here. So it is Sumo that's holding us down here. We're just going to reserve here. We're just going to do the same again. We're just going to reserve down to the end. While we have a gander at what's going on, we'll probably swing Sumo towards the front. I'd say he might lock it. So we'll see if we can't get somewhere where he's got no line of sight. And we'll swing you towards the front. If he's got 2 sets of sensor lockers, it might be a little awkward, but swing you around here, buddy. Not keen on that for a move. It's a little better. Hopefully he's not sitting up on top. If he's sitting up on top of this hill, this could really hurt, right? So that'll hold you. Not actually sold on that. Is there a... I wish this was 4. Instead of this, because I really want this hill to hide me a little. Right, I think he's going to engage on this anyway. So he sensor locks us twice, down to nothing. Push up anyway. I need him to move this. Or to lock with this, and then maybe I can swing Mockingbird forward and lock. If I'm gonna do that, I have to move one of my heavies. Hopefully he doesn't have an apex catapult or something. I don't really want to contend with that, because then I have to push forward. Alright, so he's moving stuff around in the back. He's keeping this locked down. I wonder if that's because he wants to. Okay, so I could move here. Could take ozone forward. Kind of want to tank with the arms. Is there a 3 movement that tanks with your arm? That kind of tanks with the arm. I wish I could sit towards the middle a bit more. Guess not. So we'll go ozone. Maybe we'll risk wild mockingbird next. Depends on what this is. Oh, this is arclight, right? So it can sense a lock. I don't know if I don't really want to move forward. That's the thing. I don't really want to move forward. I want him to stay. I want him to stay around here, so that at least Mockingbird can maybe grab a hold of that. And we're having some frame issues here. Kind of want to just stay on the edge, right? Just so that this guy's got to stay towards the front. If he moves too far back, the Mockingbird won't be able to grab him. If he doesn't sensor lock us at all, I'll just swing Mockingbird forward. Interesting. What the hell has he got? I could risk something like this. Possibly. He locks us, fires 30 LRMs. Could be rather painful, right? Doesn't matter which way, we'll probably swing like this. Well, he's only got 1 sensor. I think we'll jump and we'll brace. I really don't want to get hit by a million LRMs. He's kind of got to sit here, so next turn round we'll just lock him and fire. He might lock us now with this, knowing we've only got 1 mech left. We'll probably just swing ozone towards the front. Could be sitting up. He could be setting up on the hills for some direct line of sight. I don't know if you can get direct line of sight from up there. Maybe. Probably up on this. It is rubble though. It's not going to be something you really want to sit on top of. Although braced, I don't know if it's going to make much difference. I don't have exactly the biggest amount of knock-and power here. I wonder if he's all short range. I'd love some trees here actually. Although, this isn't too bad. Can we swing? Okay, I really don't want to move too far forward. I want Mockingbird to be able to be towards the front here. Should I forget? Has he sensor locked us once? He'll probably sensor lock us this round, since he kept Apex towards the end. This round though, it's going to be a lock and a fire of twice, so 30 LRMs. It might be a sumo locust, which will take a complete beating. 320 armor is no joke for a light. I mean, considering you get what, +2 evasion because you're a light, he can move it after I sense lock, so you can do some fairly good tanking with it. He has to kind of keep it there. He could maybe swing this way or this away if you wanted, but then he's getting kind of close. Oh, I don't want to lose my bracket. I don't want to get kicked out of the tournament here, so I'm a little nervous. I'll tell you, the nerves are kicking in. I would really love to stay in the tournament. If I do win this, next up is Nurgle's Herald. So this is another tough game. There's some tough games ahead of me if I do push through this one. See how we go. Alright, so he's going to run out of sensor lock range. Yep, see you later. Interesting. Even funnier that, even funnier that it's holding here. I don't get why it holds here. I'm guessing I'm gonna have to push across this river of rubble, which isn't happy times. I would say the person who moves first here is gonna drop sensor lock. I don't particularly want to run that way, so we're gonna just move Sumo backwards, just to see what happens here. He'd have to push quite far forward for this, so I'm okay being here. Depends which way he's gone. He's probably kick off into... Nope. Okay. Interesting. We'll probably put Mockingbird here, I guess. These two are just going to brace. I might just brace here. This is going to be a little awkward. I don't know what's going on. I'd say it's maybe... Sensor lock's probably over here. He's maybe tanking up over here. Or up on top of this somewhere. I know... Well, I got screwed pushing into this, right, last time, so... I'll move Ozone up next. Do you just want to twist? Actually, I don't want to twist you there. I'd like Mockingbird to go there, but we'll put Ozone over here somewhere, I think. Is this when I suddenly find that he's flanking me like a way over here? Alright. Yeah, that's kind of okay, except for we're going to get sense locked here and probably a little stuffed, but so be it. At least we have some idea of where he is. Not great though, because Mockingbird's going to have to jump. He gets to sense lock this. He could sense lock Mockingbird. So we can't sense lock this round. And I don't know which one of these mechs is what anymore. Shouldn't really be direct line of sight. This is not the greatest place to sit because now you can push to here and to here. And then direct fire from over here if you've got medium lasers. And that's not really how I want to go with these two mechs. Alright, this is the slowest push ever. We'll probably brace here. Actually, let's have a look. So you got nothing in line. I would have to move to here to be able to sense lock that stuff. I think Wildfire's just going to sit tight. For now. We'll twist a little. He can't run. I don't think he can. You know what? We're going to brace here. He won't know. He shouldn't know what we moved. So now he's got two mechs. He could still sensor lock and LRM in. Ooh, okay, so he's moving that one up. So we'll sensor lock this. This is what I was saying. He can move to here and then to here. So we're gonna sensor lock you and see what you are. What does he have? Okay. That's cool. We're just gonna park ourselves over here. He will get to move and fire on this next turn if he wants, but we should be able to LRM this down. I wonder if he's running 2 4Ps and some other weird shenanigans. I definitely don't want to get into a brawl with this. That's why he hasn't really locked. We're just going to back up, fire, and then back up, I think. He could push into that. That's fine. You're fine where you are as well. So we just have to back Ozone up from this mess. And just range him down for a bit. He's definitely not going the... I don't know what he's got. So what have we got? 3 mediums. Okay, so... a 4P, a 4G, and... something else? He's probably got an Apex in here somewhere. I wonder if he's going to take all of his moves now. I don't mind that. So you, sir... just want to lock this guy. And we'll give him some stick here. We're definitely going to back up over here. We'll fire probably Wildfire into this. I should check out medium laser ranges from Wildfire just to make sure he can't sit here. And we'll just keep backing up into these trees, I think. It's going to take a long time, especially to burn through 800 armor. I just need to wear him down a bit. He definitely wanted me to push. There's no way. I mean, if you push into these, it's death trap for you, right? He's probably going to try and push slowly towards this, so I'll just keep pulling back. Yeah, it sucks for him, but that's how it has to be. Alright, it's coming around the side. I don't know what this is. It's a little scary. Alright, so Wildfire, let's check it out. Let's turn off all this stuff. And check out... okay, so we're going to have to pull away from these trees a bit, right? Which means we'd need to move probably over here. What does that give us? 80 with the LRM. You might move Sumo first. Just make sure he's got no weird LRMs going on. Yeah, make sure there's no weird LRM going on. Move you. Hopefully that doesn't block my route out of here. He could toast us with this, I guess. Brace up here. See if some LRMs come out of the dark before we move this. What has he got? Wildfire, Arc Light. We don't know and we don't know. He could move this last. That's what I would probably do, is I would wait to move this last. You can move fire and then do whatever you want before the rest of my mechs get to do anything. Except for the lights, right? So I could fire an AC 10 into him for 30 damage. Little scary. I don't like 4Ps. I could have brought a fire starter to maybe deal with that, considering most people run 4Ps. Ozone at the front should tank okay. So we move back here, we fire, and then we can move Ozone to here. Maybe fire, depending on what it does with this. I gotta be careful though, because obviously he can still fire from here into here. So he could move forward, brace, set up to fire next turn. I also got to be careful he doesn't have a 4G, which will destroy Mockingbird. Alright, let's back up. I'm pretty happy to fire for 80 into this. Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna risky. I think he could still sense lock us here. No, actually he cannot. Because he's got Wildfire here. No sense locks from here. Alright, we'll take our 18 damage. Solid hit. So even if he sense locks with this, all he's got is this to move next. He could still sense lock from here onto this, and then he could treb us if he wanted, if it was a treb. Although a treb and this are already what, 4 mil plus 2 mil, fits. So this guy's gonna back and brace, I think. I don't want to KTO, okay. He's gonna 5 the KTO? He could. No. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Gets you 2 evasion. And we tank with the side. He could move fire. Move and fire. So I'd say it's got a 4G, a 4P, a KTO, and a Locust. That's what I would say he's got. Could move here, something like this. 3 evasion, tank towards the front, although we're going to eat all of this, right? What's this? Mockingbird. Okay, so that's the sense locker there. So he could have still sense locked us. He can still sense lock us, I guess. He's got a sense locker here and a sense locker here. We don't know what this is. Kind of just want to move away from those trees as far as I can, because he could still have a 4G. I think we move something like this. So there's a lot of damage here. There's a lot of heat though. I desperately wish I'd taken a fire starter. I could have taken, yeah, fire starter would have done beautifully against the slants. This heats up a lot. The 4G obviously doesn't heat up much. I would take a sprint to here, maybe, or a move, a fire, and then a fire again. Move, fire. I mean, you get to fire twice with this. A lot of damage, right? Even through a brace. 2 evasion on a heavy is not going to do us much good. We'll probably concentrate fire on this guy, if I can. We just have to outrange him, right? So we just keep backing up and firing. We're going to have to back this dude up and fire it. Well, we're going to have to back this dude up and sensor lock, I guess. Although, what order could I do it in? He's gonna look for, I think, a full turn on one go. What I mean by that is he's gonna look to do all of his mediums at once. He's definitely thinking. I think it's worth the risk to move fire, move and fire, move fire. I wouldn't move and brace. I don't think. I would have taken the risk. You got plenty of armor here. Maybe he wants to go for the sensor locks to maybe get better shot chances, but I think it would have been well worth. We're just going to reserve in. I don't mind if he takes a full move here. So we know he's got a KTO. We'll just reserve down. I don't see a point in not doing this. He's going to reserve down anyway. I think we sense lock, continue to sense lock this. Okay, let's check out you, sir. Just want to know. So you'd have to move to about here, right? Or I check from here. You have to move to probably here, to be able to shoot Mockingbird. So we'll move Sumo first. Sumo is generally always first. He has no... I'd love to know what this is as well. He might be looking for the apex shot as well. That generally should be an okay move. I don't think he can clear this hill and kill you, but just in case, I guess we take a move back this way. We're just gonna have to keep backing up. I think we could probably get him on this, right? We definitely have the range advantage for now. So he has to move something now, right? So then we can jump this back. Hopefully he sense locks something over here. We'll jump, we'll sensor lock probably this. This is probably the big one. And then we can move you back and fire, and you can probably just sit here and fire. We just need to stay out of medium laser range for now while he pushes forward. Do what we can with the LRMs. If it's a 4P and a 4G, I always say this, I think I'm pretty negative about my outcome. But, I mean, in Apex on a 4G, right, could do some massive work here. A hit to the arm leaves us with 50. Could hit here, leaving us with 95. Lasers in, we could lose the LRMs, right? In one turn. Well, we could lose the LRMs in one turn. He's thinking about whether he wants to move this, right? I think next, I need him to move something probably forward to be in sense lock range. If he moves this and braces it in, I'm pretty happy to just fire. Interesting. Let's have a look here. I know he doesn't have any LRMs. So I can't get that. But I could get this, or I could sense lock this. This is probably not worth. I could do some damage over here. Or he could back it out. Or I could sit tight. But we don't know what this is. Could jump back just a little bit less. And throw a sense lock on this. He sense locks us. He could spray us down a fair bit. I think we just go all the way back and we'll sense lock this guy here. It's probably going to be a locust. Would be my guess. Kind of wanted to sit here and fire. I could probably hit that. I'd say this is going to be... I don't know. He's going to sense lock us with this. Probably move this and fire. Move this and fire. You might be able to hit that with the large laser, I'm hoping. Large laser, large laser. Do 20 damage plus some LRMs. Just kind of want to do some damage to this. That's my hope. There's a lot of things to fight here though. I mean, there's what, 880 armor here, 800 armor here, probably 800 armor here. It's a lot of armor. It's more armor than I'm carrying. Is it? Pretty much, right? I mean, this isn't anywhere close. I mean, these two only make up an extra 400 armor. So, yeah, we're lacking a little. And he's got burst. The burst potential is huge. We'll probably fire from here onto this before we fire with this. I don't want to leave ozone hugely exposed. He's probably going to sense lock Mockingbird here. I definitely think that's a locust though. Sense lock here. Ooh, okay. We'll back the Thunderbolt up then. Or do we? I think we fire with Wildfire, right? And then maybe we consider backing up with you. So we engage this. Something like that. Give him a bit of stick. What are we down to already? 72 damage. It's not bad for a start, except for this can do what? 100 damage. So we're probably going to look to move Ozone next. Well, we have to move Ozone next. He might swing here for the AC 20 shot. I definitely need to move you next, right, Ozone? It's all going to come down to how much burst he can do with these. Because what's going to happen is he's going to move something in and then he's going to bum rush with the rest. And just try and destroy us. Maybe I should have gone for the Apex because the Apex is going to get debraced, right? So by debracing, when he fires, at least I could do some damage. But thing is, if he holds the Apex to last, he can move, fire with the Apex, move and brace. Or you could even move. I would move, fire, move and brace, reset the AC shots. And that way you can then set up for something like that again. Did he just brace one of his mechs? Feels like it. Okay, so we move you back, I think, to over here. And we try again. This could be a little scary because he could probably get that this guy onto us, right? And then he could bum rush everything else forward. We could go... No, we can't do that. Kind of want to just fire from here. And tank the damage. I don't know what he braced though. If it was this that he braced, then we could be eating an AC 20. I think we have to back here. I think we're just going to have to play the slow game. Could risk another... See, it's not worth the risk here. It's not worth eating a truckload of damage for a possible what, 40 damage? It's not worth at all. I'd rather set up for a turn of maybe firing again into this. I just need to LRM stuff. I mean, this sucks. This is not a fun game to play for Calico here. But that is one of the... I mean, you saw it in the game where I brought no sensor locking and I had to push forward. I'm just having to play to the strengths of my lance, right? And the strengths are just LRM spam till they come in. At some point he might get frustrated and push in, which would be excellent for us. I have to be really careful of sense locking with this. So it's always going to be sumo first, forcing one of these guys to probably move. So we're just going to reserve down again. Did you run out of time? I didn't see if you ran the timer down or not. It's really late for him as well. It's like It's like 5 in the morning or something. I don't know. He must do day shifts, night shifts, or something. Because that would be pretty hard for me to do. So we're just gonna keep hammering at this. If I can get 200 armor off it, I would be ecstatic. Because that'll give us a nice old advantage. If we can weaken it down enough, he comes in, we can gouge some chunks out of it. You know, we just need, well, we need the laser pack to go, so. That's the other thing, is if I stayed on the AC-20, at least if either side goes, the AC-20 becomes useless. Whereas the laser version is always good if it's got the laser pack. I mean, obviously you lose the heat sink, so it becomes a little bit more slower going, but I mean, you've absorbed a truckload of damage by the time you've lost one side of this mech. He's probably going to reserve into us. I'll move Sumo, see what he does. I'll reserve. If he reserves, he might be thinking about doing the bum rush here. Now, you could probably set up to go for... we'll move back over here. Move you. We brace you. So he'd have to sense lock something over here. We can take this guy back. Sense lock this again, although this is really out of our reach now. I'll probably sit that there, swing this here, brace, swing this here, brace, or brace, brace, move, fire. I have to do the slow pick game though. I need more armor off this. I don't know what happened there. This is the only problem if you... What do I think he braced? This probably? And I didn't actually move that in. I think this is an apex right here. Maybe I should consider the apex instead. Then I start spreading damage around. I think he's going to push the apex in though. I really want to see the apex. Ooh. Ooh, don't move, buddy. I think it would be well worth shooting the apex. If it's not an apex, I could be screwing myself here. Man, these moves. I think... I just want to see what it is, right? What the? Okay. It's weird. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna jam our LRMs into that. He could swing this corner to fire. I would move this forward, fire. He could fire from out of the trees if he sense locks this. I'll have to pull this back. I can't get any direct line of sight on that. I don't get it. Why would you... Maybe I should just stick to this, actually. If he loses that... Oh, he's got a Mockingbird, though, doesn't he? I don't get it. I don't... Okay. I guess wildfire fires here? In case we get a shot with ozone? We could pick on this guy. I don't know if he's being overly cautious here, or what. He could have been doing damage to me a lot earlier, right? I would move here, brace maybe, although then you're giving up, oh, I don't know, because then you're giving up laser shots to direct fire, which is not great for you. It's an extra 20 damage. I would definitely push. I would have pushed forward with these two, right? Start pounding on this. Get this guy towards the back. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would definitely have pushed in a lot earlier, I think. Can't even sense lock now. What's he doing? Like, so now if he moves something in, he exposes it to direct line of sight from this, because he has to move it in enough to give vision. You could move, you could brace, and then move and fire. Is he gonna fire with that? Surely not, right? You brace, and then you move and fire with this. There we go. So I could fire on that, or I could fire on that. This is probably better odds. I mean, this is still braced. Let's have a look. So for this, I could get 60s or 75. I mean, it's only 5 extra % for a fair bit more damage, which I think is probably worth. Let's have a quick look here, though. So he doesn't have vision. He's probably got vision on this, though. So definitely sitting here, he's got vision. Yeah. So from there, so all he has to do is move this forward to fire, right? On the urban. So the urban's going to take a bit of a beating this turn. It's unfortunate that we're spreading our damage around so much as well. So the urban's probably going to have to jump here to absorb some of this. God, we're just spreading our damage everywhere. So we'll have to move the urban back to eat up a bit of this. There we go. Move this in. So we'll probably concentrate on this again. There we go. Fire. Interesting. Okay, now this is where it gets a little scary, right? He could full fire with this. If he... You don't move this. You reserve in. Because then if I reserve for these things, he gets to have a full turn of firing, which wouldn't be worth my time. I definitely have to jump this back. But we can now pick on this with large lasers again. So what do we want to do here? We probably need to move sumo. Or do I? I reserve. It's my start. I think it's better that way. Then we jump Mockingbird back. Yeah, right. If I moved Sumo and then reserved into him, it's his start. Which then puts me down a thing. And he would just hammer this with one of these guys. So we're going to have to jump you back. I could probably sensor lock still. Although then it opens us up to taking 30 LRMs, which is a little dangerous. So I'm probably going to have to look to jump back. Yeah, I'm going to have to jump back like this. Where's the LRM boat? Over there, right? So we're going to have to jump back. He might sense lock and try and fire on one of these guys. I can't. I could risk Mockingbird here. Not particularly, right? There's no point. So he fires with this. I then jump back anyway. He then sense locks us and fires LRMs anyway. So there's no real gain to be had by taking a bunch of shots here. I could probably get vision with the Locust. Although the Locust is a big risk. He's probably going to reserve down. I'll reserve down as well. From here, it gets a little bit better for us though. If I can get vision, I can start firing into these. You probably just push forward. That's what I would do. I'll just push them forward, brace, start shooting one of these. In fact, I would move, block. You get a turn of firing here. If he moves and locks this, I'd probably look to swing Sumo over here with some vision. It's a big risk, since we could get hit by a whole lot of damage. And 320 armor is not a lot versus a 4P and a... yeah, there we go. Okay, so now he's got a drop. So we're going to reserve here. He'll probably reserve down anyway. There we go. So now we could think about something like this, since he's got no more sensor lock. I don't know if 4 evasion is huge though. We could go one move with probably ozone, right? We could... Ooh, there's no way that's happening. So we could brace here, swing Sumo, probably fire. If I was him, I'd probably step out and fire at this. We'll see. It's not actually a big risk for him. So you run forward, you fire. You run forward, you fire. I fire once or twice in. Yeah, no, it's not happening. I would definitely push out of these trees, because then you can brace up over here anyway. He does have a Mockingbird, so if I sprinted here, he has to move. I need this to go, right? I'm lucky I didn't take an aggressive lance, because an aggressive lance would have got pretty plowed. The defensive lance is a little bit easier for me. Next turn will work out okay for us. This turn not so much, unless he pushes forward. I would definitely, yeah. I think he needs to push forward. I would push the Kentaro out, because if you lose the Kentaro, it's not so bad. Because you've still got a lot of damage here. I'd push the Kentaro out, fire. I then fire, because I mean, you know that the Sumo's here, right? Or you think, yeah, you know the Sumo's still here. No, you don't know what's here, but at worst, you take, like, I don't know, a bunch of damage, right? But it's not huge. Okay, here comes the Treb. Why is he not firing the Treb? Like, I just don't get it. You got so much ammo. I guess we just sit here. What are we doing? We're getting close to a Fury as well. Fury's not going to do me a huge amount. It's going to do him better because he's got lasers. A lot of lasers. What I really need... If he steps out... Okay. We definitely, no matter what, go for the 4P. The Kintaro will burn itself to the ground if he wants to keep firing it. For max damage, whereas the 4P can fire a lot longer and sustain its damage a lot longer as well. It's going to be the primary target. The Treb we can maybe ignore while it's LRM-30s. LRM-30s kind of just hit everything. And it's been an hour of not a lot of action. Let's see how we go. I just need probably next turn to do well here. Wait, what's going on? Did I lose track of who's who? I think I did. We'll brace here. That's fine. I could have maybe moved back a step. This is the LRM side. We kind of need to hold on to the... Only problem I don't like about the Thunderbolts, apart from LRM ammo, right, is... the fact that all their weapons are kind of on the extremities. There's nothing decent in the slots. We're gonna sense lock this guy, and we're just gonna blast him. It'll be our start, so we just sense lock him anyway. So Mockingbird, if you could kindly torso twist a bit here. I think something like that's okay. Sense lock this guy. Keep doing damage to the 4P as best we can. He could sprint the 4P back if he wanted. I should have waited till my turn, but he's probably going to reserve at the rate that he goes. Yeah, there we go. So we'll reserve in. We're going to reserve all the way down. His start, so he's going to reserve to phase 1, judging by previously. So 72 damage, we need around 100 to be comfortable. What do we do off one of these? We do 60 damage, so we do about 50 damage if everything wanted to hit. So it would take us about 2 turns to get to where I feel comfortable of him not firing, which sounds a little insane. I need that to happen as well because these babies heat up pretty quick if you close in on them. So I need to get as much damage out of them as I can while they're not super hot. Because you get about, I think, 2 turns of firing everything before life becomes really difficult. Man, we're coming up for our Fury though. Can I even Fury him into anything? Not particularly. It's Wildfire. Wildfire has, what, 4, 5 hit points? 4? So I need a headshot. Quite a lot. And we've done pretty much nothing here. Alright, that's his start. I wonder what he's going to do. He knows I want to go on this. I'm just going to probably drop everything on that, even if he pushes forward with something. So he's probably going to sense lock me with something first, and then move forward, I guess. We'll probably fire with Wildfire or Ozone. I think we fire with Wildfire here, because he might push into Ozone's firing range. If he comes forward a little bit more as well, Mockingbird can sort of fire in. If he's gonna, I would love it if he'd sense locked Mockingbird again. If he sense locks Ozone, things might get a little hairy. Okay, I'm down for that. So Wildfire, you want to fire in? Kinda wish you weren't hitting that up. Well, we've hit the 100 mark. So that's good. We've probably burnt off maybe 150 armor over everything, but Kinda just need to keep working on this. He could blow through an arm pretty quick. At least it's not a 4G with Apex, so we're kind of okay with this brace fit here. I just need him to move forward a little and then we can just start firing everything downwind, right? The main problem I have also, luckily he's into reserving down to my heavies. But it could get a little sketchy if we want to move out of here. What are we looking like? Yeah, we're doing a bit of damage to this, a bit of damage to that. It's kind of just, it's a bit of a mess, right? Because we don't have a lot of weapons hitting him. And LRM's just spread it out. Probably move Sumo next. Just because I want to, just want to be sure here, right? If he sits here for too long, it'll be great for us. So I think he's just thinking about how to push into this. If he just went for it, he'd probably win here. If he goes too long, just sitting here, then it works less and less in his favor. That's the Treb, right? And that's the Kentaro. Now if he moves the Kentaro and doesn't brace it, I might fire into it. But if not, I'll definitely fire into this again. I need this to come out of these trees. He has to move this. He has to move and brace with this. If he wants to. You know what, you can move here, you can fire. I would definitely move this, brace, move, fire, fire again, and brace. I mean, what are we doing? We would do through a brace. Do about 100 damage, do we? 75, 110, 15, 170. Not even close. We do about 90. 90 damage. 90 damage, it takes a while to burn through this guy. And we overheat at that rate as well. I am getting a lot of texts, and unfortunately I can't alt-tab out. Yeah, here we go. If he stands there and fires, would I consider that? I don't know. Sorry folks, give me a sec. It's gonna hurt. This is gonna be where it gets a little iffy, right? I would love to consider this. This is a really nice hit here. Compared to this, this is pretty good. I think we do it. I mean, that's not bad, right? 100 damage. Alright, I'm gonna have to alt-tab here for a sec. There we go. I don't think I have enough to kill this though, and this is where it's gonna get painful, right? So he's gonna be able to brace all of this here. We get to fire on this though. We're gonna have to rotate this probably, just to maintain a bit of a go here. If he reserves into us, we're going to fire with Mockingbird onto one of these. Probably this guy here. This is the guy that I kind of want to do damage to. Come on, please hit. Oh, not the head. Oh my god, though. I need one hit to that head. That would be amazing. One hit from anything will kill that. I'd even be tempted to maybe run Sumo in on this now. Because if I can kill this, it gets really good for us. If I was him, I'd probably take a turn here. I'd reserve down, actually. That is some crazy ass RNG, though. One hit now and that's dead. I mean, I need my 2% out of all this, but I mean, we've got LRM spam, a laser spam. Hopefully he's moved far enough forward for this. If he'd just edged forward, he'd have to eat. I might actually think about swapping these two around as well in a sec. I might eat a bit more damage on this. I'll rotate this, fire, take another round of firing on him, and then I'll probably edge him out. Just so that we don't lose arms. I think he's thinking about whether he goes all in here or reserves. If he reserves, I reserve, he has to take a turn. I get to fire on one of these while they're unbraced. That's crazy. You got to take all your turns now, right? You need to brace up here. Damn, that's crazy. That might win us the game, actually. What's he looking for here? He could look for Sumo. It's a bit far away. There's no way. Oh, really? Okay, we're going to reserve here. If he goes for Sumo, I don't mind that. Can we have a look at... I mean, he's got to come forward. He's got to come forward quite a bit. We'll tank with Sumo. I'm happy for that to maybe happen. Surely you don't reserve here. You do not, absolutely do not reserve here. If he doesn't, we're going to fire on this again. You have to move now. Like, you have to brace here. He's also sense locked back here. Jesus, there's so much damage. It's going to cook him a bit though. This guy, come on, reserve, sir, reserve. You know you want to reserve. He has to fire everything in here. We rotate again. Ooh, we took it to the head though. He's going to fire again with that other thing, with the treb. How are we looking on this arm? Okay, that's not too bad. So we rotate. He has to take a turn to cool down. We're just gonna, I think we win this through attrition, right? Come on, please don't blow that. Excellent. So now we rotate. Because we don't particularly want to take any more hits here. So we rotate like this. Actually, we rotate like this somewhat because I don't want to be taking... I think he has to move too far to get back hits here, so we'll rotate like this. We'll dump everything on this man. I just need a head hit. Come on, a head hit. One head hit. You know you want to give me that 2%. I think I might consider moving forward with this, actually. He can't cook himself, I don't think. What do we got to hit from here? 70s, right? Whereas if I moved up, we would have 70s still. Alright, I guess we fire in. I could push forward with the machine guns to give me extra chances, right? Let's go. There we go. That's all we needed. Now we can just manhandle the rest of this, right? That head hit just did him in. There's no way. There's no way this would have gone as well for us without that. That's insane. Do I move in and punch him? I don't think so. I think we just keep shooting him, right? Or do we look for something over here? Look for something like this. Get some vision on this guy. Probably go for the treb. If I can fire on the treb without having to get vision, I'll take that. Although this guy would be a nice kill as well. He's front facing. I mean, should have torso twisted as well. There's some, I don't know if it's because he couldn't torso twist or what. We need to pull this back. I need to save that large laser. So Ozone has to move back here. Hopefully he does, I don't know what he's going to do here. Luckily now we get to out initiative him, even with the arc light. So it's going to be my start. We move Sumo. He has the sense lock psych. I mean, he could still fire from here, but then we just move. He's going to be pretty hot as well. It's just a slow grind for him now. I think I'm just going to continue with the Kataro. We did a fairly decent chunk to him already. This guy, yeah, that head hit. Wow. RNG at its best. I mean, it would have still hit somewhere, but to get hit in the head is just so unfortunate. Real unfortunate. Definitely cost them the game. Look at this smoking pile of rubble here. Just heads on fire. It burns, it burns. Okay, he's cooking his turns. Wait. Did he reserve? Yeah, he did reserve. Wait. Where's his... Ah, he didn't. Don't know what's going on here then. Reserving. Well, he's even in a worse state now. Poor guy. So now what we do is we just keep moving. We'll move you back, fire, move you. We don't even have to move you forward. No, we'll move you forward. Whatever. Could probably tank through some of this. I mean, if he fires with this, it'll be too hot. The problem with the Kintaro is it's so hot and it takes so much work to cool it back down. I just don't get why I didn't fire earlier, right? I would have been firing with this a lot earlier. I mean, there should have been a lot more built up damage on all of these. Even this could be already mostly damaged. Arms could be falling off it already. You get 8 turns of firing with the Treb, but you don't need to save all 8 turns, right? You're not going to be engaged in combat. You're not going to have 8 really good turns of firing it unless your opponent's just doing wacky stuff. And if you have 8 really good turns of firing, yeah, sure, that's massive, right? But you only really need about 2 turns of really good firing out of it. The rest of it, you can just expend ammo. I mean, it's a treb, right? You just burn that ammo. Oh my god. The man has gone crazy. Is that really what you do? We can hit this guy twice. Sumo? We sumo this? Or do we? You know what? Stuff it. I think we've won. We'll sumo this. He could kill Sumo here. I might be okay with that. This guy, I mean, he's already unstable, right? if we can get this evasion down, do enough damage with these guys, he's going to go over, right? That'll put him into a phase where these guys are ahead of him. We might even be able to cold shot him. To push him, well, precision strike to push him back even further. And then it's just an exposed tread, which is insane. Is he going to try for back shots here? Right, I think he's trying for back shots, right? Let's have a look here. So, Mockingbird. You're going to have to rotate here, buddy. Jam around in. 60 to hit. I'll take those odds. Still not enough, though. Alright, so you're going to have to rotate in your dodgy arm, unfortunately. I could move in and punch him. How worth would that be? Probably not, I would say. We've got to be careful of those internal explosions as well. I think we have to take... it's got to be a full sprint, right? Because he didn't brace. I think we have to take something like this. That KTO, at least it's not cooled down too much. Now, I could risk the arm here. I think we fire in like this. Oh shit, I've already rotated. Okay. That's unfortunate. How much can we get with precision? Up to 50? Would that be worth? I think it is, right? Because then we knock off, well, the evasion will be gone anyway. Let's go for it. Alright, so evasion's lost. Now all we have to do is hit him with this. And he goes down. I think we might back over this way. Is there any way I can get decent hit chances with my LRMs? What are we looking at? 85. I think that's what I need. I need something like this. So we back away from this. He could jam us for a whole lot of damage, but I think we've got this guy here, dead to rights. Which just leaves us up against this. And what is this? That's an arc light, right? Alright, so he should be a million miles down the initiative track by now, hopefully, if the game doesn't bug out. And the game bugged out, cool. I hate how it does that. So I guess we go for a cold shot on this arm here, this arm here. Yeah, that arm, right? Get rid of the lasers. God, that sucks when it does that. Let's think. I think I punch this. I fire with this. And it doesn't help us. Yeah, it does. It does. Because then he's into his medium turn. He has to reserve, which means I get to fire with one of these again. Okay. I'm down for that. So you, sir. Was this arm, right? We could just go for the CT here. I think we just go for the CT. Or we could jump in and get everything on him. Might be the way to go. So that's 70 damage. Let's jam that in. Oh my god, we just missed with a big old round of damage, but so be it. We punch this. I could still get CT ammo explosions here if he gets lucky. So we need to punch you. Hopefully you rip something off, please, sir. Well, yeah, CT's cool. And an arm's even better, because now he's got no medium lasers. He's still got this for some damage. So this explodes this turn, right? He reserves, we fire. We're gonna have to fire. Oh, you know what? I think we're just gonna have to walk in and fire. Or we walk you in? Yikes. No, that's okay. So we walk you over here and we fire. God, we're not gonna do as well as I'd like, but that's okay. He's thinking about it. So what do you do here? You go for this, or you go and try and shoot this in the side. That side you don't want. You could probably rotate for this side maybe, shoot into here. I'm going to rotate this way to fire onto this. We can't fire our big boy guns, but we'll have to use the machine guns we still got. Yeah, so we could lose the large laser, but that's not so bad, because then we can still fire the machine guns, right? We use the machine guns on this guy. If he gets up, he doesn't do too badly on the damage front. All comes down to what he wants to do here. Yeah, so he's climbing in. It gets a little messy the closer he gets in, right? Because now he can start jamming in potential back damage. Okay. That's a problem. Let's turn on these babies. So now he can get behind us, which is a real danger. I think I just rest this guy anyway. I mean, if he dies, he dies. Because we've still got this one, and we've still got this. Something like that's probably okay. It's a little overkilly, right? Something like that. And then maybe next turn he goes for a punch. If he's still alive. I feel like that guy's dead anyway. And we might look for a... Ooh, how cold is he? He's getting a little cold, right? So we might back away and fire at this guy. And then if he wants to get behind us, I think we cool down a little here as well. I think we cool down. Yeah, we cool down a little, right? We just zap him a little, whatever. Maybe we do some damage, but we've got maybe some heat here to dump everything into his back. If he wants to swing for the back of us. Did we hit him in the leg twice? That's not great. He could shoot this in the back now. Might hurt us a bit. He could shoot this in the back. He could kill this. If he wanted. 25 damage plus 30, 50 damage into the back here. I don't have a cooled shot. He's got a cooled shot, so he might go for a cooled shot on the back of this. Could swing here and fire. Swing with this and fire. We're going to have to beat down on this though, as best we can. From behind is probably... Oh. So we'll reserve in. What's the time?
Mission successful.
Alright. I'll take that win. Interesting though. I reckon he could have won there. He just needed CT explosions, right? And I think he should have definitely, he wasn't outplayed. Like, he just got really unlucky with that. I mean, once you're down to one head armor here, you're stuffed, right? I mean, what have we done to him so far? It definitely wasn't outplayed, but I just got really lucky with that head hit. I think he should have just pushed earlier. It's an older lance config. I don't know about Arclight here either. He should have definitely pushed and fired a lot earlier. And he could have pushed a lot better. I mean, he still did what I said, right? He pushed out and he fired. And he got RNG'd to hell with that. Which was unlucky, but could have gone either way, I reckon. Definitely he could have just steamrolled me if he had pushed in earlier. And if he'd been firing, I think he needed to have been firing the treb a lot earlier as well. But good game. And with that, we'll take a break. Tune in next time for more adventures of BattleTech. Hey guys, thanks again for watching. If you like what you've seen, hit that subscribe button or leave me a comment on anything you want to see in the future.